welcome back to the what the hell world of BC Andrews. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, my name is David Popovich, aka the Bookworm, and welcome to Bookworm Reviews. Sit back and relax as we dive into If There Be Thorns, the third book of the Dollanganger saga by B.C. Andrews. God, that actually hurt. How did these books become popular? Why do people like them? They are poorly paced, nonsensical, and filled with the most hateful cast of characters I've read. Does that improve in this book? Hell no! Okay, so this picks up several years after Petals on the Wind, after 3 terrible attempts to find a man, and finally getting revenge on her mother by burning down Foxworth Hall on Christmas. No, I'm not kidding. Driving her mother to be locked up in a mental hospital, Kathy has decided to live with her brother Chris as true lovers. Yep, so in the end, incest is indeed wincest. But Kathy doesn't narrate this book. Right from the prologue, she explains how she is getting old, and it's time to pass the torch. Both of us knowing our story is almost over, and Bart and Jory will give to both of us either the best or worst of what is yet to be. It is their story now, Jory's and Bart's, and they will tell it as they knew it. Yep, this one is told from Kathy's 2 sons, Jory and Bart. And one thing I'll say is that instead of being an aimless mess spanning over a decade, Thorns is told over the course of one summer. A summer that changed everything. So to hide their terrible Lancer secret, Chris buys a house up in the mountains of Northern California. Isolated from the rest of the world, their closest neighbor is an abandoned mansion. The book starts off with Kathy's oldest, 14-year-old Jory, the son of Julian, aka Edward on steroids, who is starting to notice his mother's odd behavior. Safe in the valley where the wind doesn't blow, my mother said often. Too often, really. As a kid, he looked up to his mother and father Chris. But now that I was an adolescent, I was beginning to take more notice of what went on between the most meaningful models I had. And a lot of that takes shape when he catches his mother and father in the attic and his father discovering 2 beds and a picnic basket. Yeah. Does history have to repeat itself? Can't we learn and benefit from the mistakes of others? Do we have to do it all over again? Yep, it looks like Kathy has got a case of you becoming your mother-itis, and the only cure is not talking about it. This actually has no bearing on the plot at all. It's only there to make Jory doubt his parents. I saw 2 people, my parents, as strangers I didn't know. Younger, less strong, less dependable. In doing so, it makes him start to look deep into his past, and discovering the truth behind his parents, he buried deep within himself. The other narrator is the younger, 9-year-old Bart, the son of Bartholomew, the man Kathy's mom married and who Kathy seduced, getting knocked up only to die in the Foxworth fire. Yeah, Petals was f***ed up. But you know who's more f***ed up? So on the surface, Bart looks to be a standard younger brother, one who's envious of his older brother since he's the clumsy one. Wish I was graceful like him. Wish I could dance and charm everybody into liking me. And like any sane boy, he blames God for everything that's wrong with him. Was it my fault he didn't make my nerve endings go all the way to the surface of my skin? Was it my fault I couldn't feel pain like everybody else? Was his? Yeah, it turns out Bart can't feel basic pain like the rest of us. Strange? But this is a B.C. Andrews book. This is just his quirk. Just quirky little Bart playing his pretend games, and once I caught him pulling off a spider's legs, one by one, before he squished it between his thumb and forefinger. Then the black blood held his interest. Do bugs feel pain? And is going to become a serial killer. Even with their differences, the 2 still hung out. But all that changes when the nearby abandoned mansion is bought by a strange elderly woman who likes to cover her face and dress in all black. Very strange. She takes an interest in Bart, who starts to visit her in secret and starts to give him all his earthly desires. Please talk, Bart. Sit down and relax. Feel comfortable. Feel at home. I want my house to feel like your home, open to you and Jory. My own life is so lonely. All I have is myself and John Amos, my butler. To have a real family next door is so comforting. You want to know who she really is? I'm sure you already know. Heck, the book reveals it in the next few pages. That is Bart's grandmother. Kathy's mother. Not in a mental hospital, just doing the same thing. Like moving next door to your remaining children you locked up in an attic so she can win back her inheritance and giving Bart the attention he feels his own parents don't give him. Yeah, that's totally sane. The other person Bart talks to is the butler John Amos, who used to work for Foxworth Hall. He takes an interest in Bart by revealing his true family history and giving him his great-grandfather's journal to learn what it means to become a true man. A manly man! You remember, it is the God-given duty of men to dominate women who are basically weak and stupid. Yeah. So that's the basic plot. The two sons of Kathy slowly learning the history of their parents and their reaction/downfall upon learning said truths. And it's awful. Truly, utterly awful. And I can sum it up to one thing. Bart! Bart is a terrible character. His arc is supposed to be a turn to the dark side, a younger brother trying to take control of things he cannot, turning on those who love him, giving him a tragic story as he succumbs to the dark greed of man. Too bad he's never likable. Even before John almost turns him into a gamer-gator, he has no redeeming qualities. Every time we see what Bart really wants, it shows us nothing more than that he's a spoiled little brat. Pretty much, he just wants his mom to love him, and only him. That's it. And when she does, he reacts violently because all of the feels. And it only gets worse as each chapter devolves into him talking about money, power, how women are inferior, and how he will purify his mother from sin. And I bet you think that by the end, he will learn the errors of his ways and change for the better. Honey, this is V.C. Andrews. Happy endings are forbidden. And what about Jory? Jory is pointless. He has no arc. Literally every chapter is of him asking the same questions, coming close to the same answers, only to ignore them or withhold them because it would ruin his happy little family, which can work. If he wasn't constantly asking, what should I do? What should I do? That's the book in a nutshell. A half a nothing and a half a hating, making the book nearly unbearable to read. Then there's the fact that everyone is stupid. No one tries to do anything until it's too late, even though the problem was being shoved right in their face several times, leading to honestly one of the craziest climaxes of the series. Like, you ain't seen nothing till you read Kathy and her mom having a cat fight, Dynasty style. And that's not the crazy part. But even then, it's not really worth it. Nothing is really gained in the book. Outside of the ending, all we get to see is stupid awful people do stupid awful things to each other. It's grade A, USDA, non-GMO schlock. That's probably why people read these books. But honestly, they are not worth the pain and misery. Even compared to the others, this is the weakest entry so far. Only the brave and dumb should try to read this book. But for the rest, avoid it at all costs. Because if you should even try, this will be your future. What about you, Internet? What's your opinion about If There Be Thorns? A special thanks to Sarah Acosta and Sylvian Dementi for suggesting the book. Thank you for your support. If you have a book you would like me to review, let me know in the comments below. Okay, I need to wash the taste of bad romance out of my mouth. Next week, gay football furries. Till next time, have a nice day.